Hey, look, it's His Majesty, Destiny the Second. Now, as you know, I've already kind of clashed with Destiny a few times on this platform and, in fact, on X. Here's the thing, though. X is indeed the greatest representation of his hypocrisy, because look at this. Destiny Stephen Bonnell II, the omniliberal, and the very message that he writes here to present himself is going to be my line of attack for today. Open quotes. The do-your-own-research guy who actually does his own research. So, given the statement we've just been presented with, one would imagine that if said individual shared his opinions, then those opinions would have been based on research, right? Well, apparently Destiny had something to say about a post of mine. So how about we check out the post proper first, and then we see how he responds. So on this post, I was responding to Abortion is Healthcare account, and this individual posted a picture of Charlie Kirk with the were mockery, meaning like, oh, you're dead, but I'm making fun of the pronoun thing, even though these are not pronouns. Imbeciles. And he said, boo-hoo, did you cry like a wee-woo baby? So to that I responded and I said, no one has pushed me further and further away from the political center and to the right more than people like this on the radical left. The discrepancy between we are the party of love and tolerance and this behavior is too blatant, too awful. I cannot stand it. Can we all agree that this is like a normal human take? Normal. It's absolutely normal to be disgusted by people who celebrate, mock, and laugh at someone else's death simply on the merits of, oh yeah, but he had politics I didn't like and everyone told me he's a fascist, so I'm gonna make fun of him, but then still say I'm party of love. Like, no. Apparently, Destiny didn't like that because he responded and he said, open quotes, we, and then says, bro thinks he's on the team and he's not even American, lol. Ooh, wow, Destiny, you cooked. You really cooked. You smoked me on this one. How am I ever going to respond to such a highly researched, a strong comeback? Well, here's how I'm going to respond to that, Destiny. Here's how I'm going to respond. First and foremost, you should learn English. You seem to think that it's out of place for me to say we because I'm not an American. So I don't belong to the team, right? Thing is, though, the only section where I said we is the one where I'm quoting your party. So already, am I misunderstanding something here, or is he not understanding what I'm saying here? I'm talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about the liberals and progressives that are all about, that keep pestering us about love, tolerance, and being nice. But then we got people like you who mock the death of Charlie Kirk. As you'll see, he keeps doing it. He keeps mocking and laughing at Charlie Kirk's death. So yeah, I don't see why this makes absolutely zero logical sense. But then he says, bro thinks he's on the team and he's not even American. So, Mr. the guy who actually does his research, if you did do your research, when it comes to me, that research meaning you just had to scroll down a little bit and see that in one of my recent posts, I announced that the immigration authorities have contacted me through letter to letting me know that I am allowed to begin my citizenship proceedings to become an American citizen. I have begun that process with my lawyers. Now, it's going to take some time, of course, but yeah, it's kind of funny the fact that you point a finger at me and tell me you're not even American. Well, hold on a minute. One, I am becoming an American citizen. Two, I am married to an American citizen. 3, my son will be an American citizen. And 4, I live in America, I pay my taxes here, I immigrated legally. So yes, I would say I am part of the team. I am part of it. And it is ludicrous that someone who belongs to the liberal positions, so you are the guys who are all about immigration, let everyone in, you bigots, and generally speaking attacks those elements within the extreme right where they are against foreigners of all kinds and all forms of immigration. It's kind of a fraction because generally speaking, right wing is against illegal immigration. Sometimes there is a racial component to it, but in general, most right wingers have zero problem with legal immigrants like me. Regardless, usually that is one of the lines that you attack on the other side. And yet now you're using my foreign status, the fact that I'm a foreigner, as a way to mock me and belittle me. And in fact, undermine my arguments. So once again, massive hypocrisy on Destiny, huge line of hypocrisy, and also a demonstration of a complete lack of research when making a point. He hasn't got a clue what my position is, what my ties are with this great land, but he got his little gotcha. But that's what he does. That's what he does. Everyone is stupid but him. He complains about the rhetoric promoted by the Republican Party and right wing in general, considering it dangerous, even though he himself has pushed for violence on the streets against conservatives. He has laughed at the firefighter who got the bullet, even though the only thing he did was to attend a rally for a political party that he supported, which is his own freedom in this country. Yet to Destiny, that means that if you're stupid because you go to a party that he thinks is bad, and therefore if you get a bullet in the head, he will make fun of you. His words. That, to me, is a dangerous rhetoric. Also, do remember that just simply because I made statements that he thinks, or I shared opinions that he thinks were stupid, that he said I'm not a human. He said, you're not a human being. He said that. That's a dangerous rhetoric if you ask me. And honestly, the only thing that I agree with when it comes to Destiny is when he goes against Hasan. That, in fact, shocked me. He thinks that it is appropriate to consider the current sitting president of the United States as describing as subhuman. But it's the right-wing rhetoric that is dangerous. Subhuman. I imagine this includes everyone who supports him. Am I right, Destiny? I mean, look at this. People are doing this to mock Charlie Kirk's assassination, and what Destiny has to say. This is absolutely disgusting behavior. Wow, you're telling me that there are at least 3 different billboards up honoring that loser? Unreal. Don't you get bored, Destiny, of having to constantly post these edgy, edgelord comments that at this point, do you even believe this stuff? Or are you just going further and further crossing that line of decency just because it's the way you make money? Anyways, that's why. It is because of people like him that I went into this pro-Charlie Kirk crusade. And I'm not done. There you go.
America is not white people's land. That's Europe. It absolutely is white people's land. We fought a war over it. Oh my God. It's politics on Twitch.
What is with white people? They have to, wherever they go. Like, is that just like
the cockroach shitting on white people for no reason? And then it's going to be the Roach King talking about how America is just for white people. Oh my God.
Since the last time I've been in Japan, I've seen a lot more white people out here.
Oh, for sure.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like it.
If you are a foreigner in Japan because you're white, then what does that make every other person that's not white in America?
Oh, he's gonna say that Asmongold actually did have Asmongold just destroyed logically Hasan, and I know that he doesn't like Hasan. That's the only thing we have in common. He's gonna say that Asmongold is right.
That's not the kind of identity politics you really want to play. Why would you say this?
Another huge problem you have, too, with these guys going back and forth is Asmongold is always going to be able to put a more coherent point across when it comes to identity politics stuff. Because Hasan weaponizes identity politics to force feed you class consciousness, which is the U.S. is never going communist. It's never happening. The fascists have come and gone, and nobody gave a about communism. Hasan weaponizes identity politics to feed you class consciousness, and then Asmongold weaponizes identity politics to just feed you worse identity politics. So Asmongold is always going to have the better point, just because he's playing in a more disgusting, he's more honest about it. And I think that comes across to the viewer as being more honest about it. Like Hasan, how are you going to have this guy being hypercritical of what races of people can live in what places, but it's not races of people, it's really only white people. But it's actually not only white people, it's just white Western people, because it actually has nothing to do with white people at all. It just has to do with like imperialism, which is like even more disconnected from everything. And then Asmongold will just be like, bro, white people rule, F you. And if you don't like white people in Japan, then we don't like colored people in America. And it's like, and listening to all these people, well, Asmongold seems to be making a more coherent point, which is unfortunate at how this platform is for politics. But
well, it's not the platform, it's the Hasan Paiga. Because yes, I agree with Unbelievable. I'm actually agreeing with Destiny in the sense that, although then again, I don't think what Asmongold does is worse identity politics. In fact, Asmongold was indeed simply making a statement to show the inner logical inconsistency of the point that was trying to be, that Hasan was trying to present. So, but yeah, cool. This is the last one I'm going to read. The map that made the left cry. So the fact that there are a lot, like a big blue cities and a lot of red land, I suppose. That was it, the White House. And then he responds, the map that made the right cry. Never forget. Oh, this is Age of Consent. You, of all people, are going to use this with the legal lawsuits that you're dealing with in the leaked messages? Seriously? And people are going to like this? 4,000 likes? Holy moly. Unbelievable. Self-awareness 0. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.